I'm Tess.
And I'm Nate.
And we are the owners of Patriot K9 Training.
Yeah, the reason we're starting a YouTube channel is so that we can do more long form content, things that Instagram and our other social medias don't really accommodate very well. Things like longer introductions, stuff like tutorials, reaction videos, our opinions on different types of gear, things of that sort.
So to start off, we just wanted to give you a little bit more insight to who we are and the things we like to do outside of dogs.
Yeah, so I'll start us off. Some of our likes, hobbies, background, stuff like that. Some of my favorite things to do outside of dog training, I really enjoy firearms, shooting sports in general, hunting, fishing, things along those lines. Anything outdoors I'm really interested in. Camping, hiking, kayaking, I love all of it. And that's a lot of interests we share together and enjoy doing those things together as well. Some of the background for me, I went to community college, I got an associate's degree, and then I went on to Cedarville University, a local school here in Ohio, and got my bachelor's in business. And then I got out into the work world. I went into a corporate position as a accounting analyst. I analyzed financial statements and stuff like that for a security company in Dayton, Ohio. And then from there, I went into the sales world and did that for probably 6 months. I kind of found out that I did not enjoy the office life. I would go stir crazy.
Hyper.
Yeah, too hyper. I would go stir crazy at all times. I would just find myself losing interest, spacing out. Just did not enjoy sitting still. So I needed something a little bit more active, which will obviously tie into me coming on to Patriot and doing those things. So, but I'll let you take over from there.
Yeah, so like Nate said, we really enjoy outdoor things. Honestly, dog training has been pretty much my whole life for the past
5-ish years.
4 years now, going into my 5th year, and I love it and have a major passion for it, so that is like my thing to do. But we do really enjoy camping, rock wall climbing, which we're going to do later. Things like that. I grew up on a farm my whole life. We raised bison all my growing up, and we had horses and things like that. So I've always been around animals. I knew going into high school that I was not going to want to go to college. School was not for me, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Tried several different jobs with all different settings and eventually landed on dog training. So going into how I got started into dog training, like I said, I've done several different jobs. I worked an office job. I was a secretary for 2 months. I did not last. It was not for me. From there, I started working at a kennel. It was a really fun job. I learned a lot about just dogs in general, body language, caring for dogs, things like that. Looking back, I would not do the things I did with my dogs at the time, at the kennel. I would not be doing that now with the knowledge I have now. But I worked there for several months. My mom actually saw a job opening or position for a dog trainer at one of the largest dog training companies or franchises in the country. I had no idea at the time that dog training was a thing. To me at that time, dog trainers only trained service dogs. I didn't know or didn't realize there was just pet dog trainers. So going into it, I knew nothing about it, but I thought it sounded cool, my parents were both like, we think you'd be really good at this, you should go for it. And at the time I was still living at home, and that meant me having multiple dogs at my parents' house for this job. But they supported me in that. I applied for the job, came down to me and one other person, and I didn't end up getting the job, which wasn't a huge deal because I wasn't really sure how I felt about it. A few months later, the owner called me back and said that the girl he hired flunked out of training and he wanted to hire me on instead. And so I started working there at the very beginning of 2019. And I worked there as the head trainer for about 2.5 years. Learned so much. I am so grateful for my time there. It was just a really good experience for a long time and taught me a lot. So I worked for this company for about 2.5 years. Gained lots and lots of knowledge during that time, and then in 2021, in the fall of 2021, we opened Patriot K9 Training. Nate was still working full-time at this point, so it was pretty much just me starting out. So we started that in 2021, and then in the summer of 2022, Nate came on, and that's kind of when his dog training journey really started.
So, okay, how did I get into dog training? So over the past 4 years, now going on 5, I've watched Tess and been pretty involved, honestly, especially in the mornings and evenings when I wasn't at my 9 to 5, working with the dogs, helping her make videos, and just overall learning, just kind of by proxy, how to train. Just a lot of her methods just kind of stuck with me as I observed her. So I kind of expressed that I wasn't enjoying the office life, but I also didn't enjoy driving an hour to work. So that was another major decision in our me quitting the corporate job and joining on. Patriot kind of exploded, and there was so many clients lined up at the time for just one person to handle. And Tess kind of came to me one day and said, I'm going to need to hire somebody. Are you okay with that? And I was totally fine with it, but the more we kept thinking about it, the more we kept praying about it, and we were like, what am I doing driving an hour to work when there's so much work at home to do, running the business, running the background of things, which is originally kind of why I came on, was to kind of handle the more administrative things, the salesy stuff, accounting areas, but I became more of a trainer really quick, more than I thought I would. Yeah, I didn't really have a choice. We needed to clear out this huge backlog of clients that were waiting, so pretty much immediately I started training more than I did anything else. But that was totally fine. It provided a lot of knowledge. It's given me so much experience in this world, the world of dog training, I mean. And it's just been a really good experience working with Tess and learning new methods from her, other trainers, talking with other people. Just brought a lot of knowledge in just about the 1 year that I've been doing this. So that's just a little bit of background on us and kind of where we came from. So we opened some questions up on Instagram, and we're gonna go ahead and address those now. So I'll ask the first one. What made you decide on dog training? I know we kind of covered that already in the video, but just recap it, I guess.
Yeah, so like I said, my mom literally saw the job. My parents both said I'd be good at it. And when I got into it, I immediately fell in love with it. I love having a new challenge all the time, and no two dogs are the same. You don't train any two dogs the same way. So it's just always something new and a new challenge, and yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah. And then, of course, you just kind of heard my dog training journey and what made me decide that. Didn't enjoy the office life, came into a more active job. I've been surrounded by dog training for the past 4-ish years, and it kind of just piqued my interest, and kind of the stars aligned, and here we are, training. Next question we have is, well, more so for you, why did you branch off from a large company and start your own company?
So, like I said, I loved the company I worked for. I gained so much knowledge, and I will forever be very, very grateful for that time. But when I kind of decided to branch off, I got to a point where I was doing a lot of the work within that company, and I was starting to get very burnt out. So the plan for me branching off was to cut back and to just have a little more time for Nate and I to travel and things like that. That did not happen. Like Nate said, we blew up pretty quick. But I learned when I had my own company, I could do things more the way I wanted. And when I was working for that company, we had to teach the dog like specific things, and all the dogs kind of learned the same things, and we had a certain way we were supposed to train. And just as I got more experience, and I didn't even fully realize this till I started on my own, when I was able to train dogs how that individual dog needed to be trained, not how I was taught to train, it just opened up a whole new world of dog training for me, and it just like relit the spark, I guess, and it was so fun. So originally it was to kind of cut back a little bit and slow down, but that quickly went away, and it wasn't as necessary for me to need to take more time off, because I enjoyed it so much more when I was able to do it my way. And I really wanted to make things customizable for the owners, because that was the other thing. Each of the dogs kind of learned the same things, went through the same program, same routine, and now how we do things, we try to really individualize the training for that specific owner's wants and needs and lifestyle.
Yep.
So it's just added a whole new aspect to it.
Yep. We always say we love when owners have goals for their dogs, because we know that they're probably going to be the ones to work with the dogs, or they just want to live more of their life with their dogs. So that's always kind of, a reason we individualize it. We like it when people tell us we want to go camping with our dogs. We want our dogs to behave in the car, so when we can take them on road trips, anything like that. That's why we individualize the training, and that's kind of why Patriot was started, I think, was just to better serve the clients and better serve the dogs, make the training better for them. So,
All right, so our next question is, what is the meaning behind Patriot K9 Training? And I'm assuming that means like the name Patriot K9 Training.
yeah. So I think when we sat down one day and we're trying to get a business name. I
think my brother
Yeah.
was the one that was
kind
like,
of
what
like,
about this?
Yeah, he kind of said, what about Patriot K9 Training? And that kind of stuck, because we just don't want anybody to ever question where we stand on things. The definition of a patriot is a person who vigorously supports their country and is prepared to defend it against enemies. And I definitely say that that's kind of our stance on a lot of things in our lives. The things that we love, we're willing to defend it, and we just didn't want anybody to question that. We are an American company, and we try to support other U.S.-based businesses. We try to support other local businesses, which, in our head is a form of patriotism for America. So we never wanted anybody to question where we stood when they booked with us, and we just thought Patriot K9 Training kind of encompassed that.
I feel like both of our families and like our personal family, we are true patriots. I don't think there is any greater place on earth to live. We love America, and we all it was founded on, and we will always stand by that.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Probably a few different things, honestly. I'm definitely not the morning person of the two of us. I'm kind of the person that can go all through the night, work through the night, do things throughout the night, and then wake up a little bit later in the morning. I find that to be a better schedule for me. But I think the thing right now, it's kind of a simple thing, especially with it being winter at the time of us filming this. One of the things that gets me up in the morning is we heat with a wood stove. And that's been when we bought a house, or when we bought this specific house, one of my biggest complaints was it doesn't have a fireplace or a wood stove. And so I quickly changed that, and I put one in a couple years ago. So I think that's the thing that gets me up in the morning. I like to start the fire. I like to get that warmth going in the house. So that's kind of what gets me up in the morning right now. Kind of silly, I know.
Mine's coffee.
Coffee.
I get excited to go to bed at night because I know I get to wake up in the morning and drink my coffee. So that's the shallow answer.
Yeah, shallow answer for sure. So that's a little bit of background about ourselves. Obviously, there's so much more to the story. So if you guys have other questions, make sure you leave those down in the comments, and we'd be happy to answer them. With this being a really new thing to us, we've obviously never done anything like this. The YouTube channel direction is still kind of being figured out with us and where we want to take it. If there's stuff that you guys are like, we really want to see this from you guys, we really want to see you react to this, or what's your opinion on this piece of training gear, anything like that, leave it in the comments. I'm sure over on Instagram we'll also be putting up polls and stuff. I think our goal right now is to kind of just do 1 to 2 videos per month. As time frees up, hopefully we might be able to put out some more content if you guys are enjoying it. But other than that, just go ahead and all the YouTube lingo, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and hit that little bell notification that tells you when we upload, which won't be very often. But with all that said, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate all your continued support over the past couple years with Patriot. We really look forward to where this is all taking us. But yeah, we will see you in the next one.